that's true. This has been a long time coming for this video. So I'm actually. There's no really. But yeah. So this is going to be a behind the scenes video of this little project that I put together quite a while ago. Unfortunately I was working on a Fallout New Vegas map also. Unfortunately that got lost at one point. Like I was, you know, sorting out storage space on my Xbox, and unfortunately the Fallout New Vegas folder ended up getting lost. However, so as you can see, like, you know, we've got the green thing. The green kind of look to it was actually really hard to pull off. Just as because like if you go just straight green, it's almost impossible to see. So like I've just put all the special effects here. Just if you want to come in and like download this and edit it yourself, the map is on my file share along with the game type for it. So yeah, if you want to get rid of the green effect, I was gonna actually upload a version of this map without the green. You know what? I'll even do it. Here you've got this little area down here. You know, these. If you're wondering what these are, these got brought in the most recent update, so that a lot of people still don't know about them because a lot of people. Yeah, which is like, because I try to have the idea of it going where it's like it's got a theme before that 3 going, or so the nukes are going off, they've like melted the ice caps, which is basically the idea of this. Like, just imagine it's. I can probably put more into this now that I'm looking at the budget. Being as it is, I can probably put a lot more into this. But I may have also reached, like in saying that, I may have also reached the prop limit, or I just probably run out of ideas at the time. But yeah, this is a little base, so just like you got a little, you know. Apparently I have a message. I just replied to that email. I don't know why you're sending me another automated message when I just responded to your email. And so I'd literally just. Why is this? Hang on. Why is this not being saved properly? Oh, blue base. Oops. I don't know. So that spawn has always been in the atmosphere. There's no weapons or anything under here. Unfortunately, it's just like an interesting little location for a thing that's like, you know, decimated by the nukes going off. You got this little area here where you can actually walk out. There's a little camping spot with a DMR. Nobody's actually found that DMR. So if you're watching this video and you now know that location, you're welcome. Alright, slipping in here. There used to be a mongoose hidden in here, but I decided to get rid of it. Just because Fallout 3 doesn't exactly have usable vehicles. So there is technically usable vehicles on this, but you have to go to a very specific location, and well, the exit to that location, and actually, a lot of the time it makes the physics kind of freak out if you're in a vehicle. which I felt accurately portrayed what it's like to play Fallout 3. You know, where the physics kind of like just wig out a bit, and there's like something clips into another thing, and they both just launch each other. So this is actually one of my favourite parts of the map, along with the lane markers now that I added in recently. But you see this little cave, right? You got this little cave entrance, right? And you think it's just like, oh well, I can clearly see the back of it. The back of it's right there. But thing is, all the caves in Fallout and New Vegas and even like Skyrim and Oblivion have the exact same thing, where you can physically see the entrance has a stop to it, but you walk in and suddenly you get teleported somewhere else. With the green filter and everything, that teleport is barely visible, to be honest. Which is why this cave is lit up so much. So you got a little weapon cache here, which I decided to like put a sniper rifle and some energy swords, kind of referencing these little areas that can go into where there's like Chinese spy outposts. Just because I wanted to do something reminiscent of that. And the way you get out, unfortunately you can't go back through that teleporter. That was the original intention, but unfortunately I couldn't get that to work. So you got the assault rifle in here, because, you know, referencing the Chinese assault rifle. I don't know why I can see that rock looking like a fish for some reason. Is that... Nope, that's just in Fortroid normally. Wow, that's a... strange. Never noticed that. Anyway, if you make your exit out here, you'll end up... out here, which is a nice little exit to the cave. The only reason I had to do this is because when I made the cave entrance over here, the way that I did that illusion is, if you look inside this rock here, there's a secret teleporter, which, you know, is how I kind of put that whole thing together, which I'll just replace now. That's not the right rock. Oop, 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 oop. I'm not a professional at this. But yeah, you can see the teleporter zone, it's like out a lot further than what the actual teleporter is, which say you get teleported away. The vault entrance is something I'm pretty proud of. Because obviously, if you know Halo, you know Forge World, you'll know that the interior of that cave that you get teleported into is literally behind this door. And you'll be thinking, okay, well, if the interior to that cave is literally in here, why couldn't you just go, where's the vault door gonna teleport me to? You know, what's gonna happen when I go into the vault? Because you got this door here blocking it off, so I can't go in there. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why would you do that? You know, like what exactly is gonna happen when I go into the vault? And again, this is why I took away the green texture, just so you can see everything nicely, because in gameplay, because of the special effects, it like really messes with the lighting, so there's a lot of little caves and shit that I had to come up with some way to light it up, and I just used the actual in-game lights. But unfortunately, limited amount of those. I actually had to cut one of the Easter eggs that I put into the map just because there was... You literally cannot see. Why I made that green. I really don't know why I made that. It's just that panel. And the entrance. I do not know why I made that green. Strange. Obviously I never noticed that because the filter is usually covering that up. I will fix that. Like I'll do a little update after the video is recorded. So you get a turret hanging off the string, because, you know, you go into interiors and Fallout, and you... Oh, hang on. And you... Oh, yeah, that's just a prompt to flip the turret rather than use the turret. Which actually does nothing. Because the way that I spawned that in, I literally had a building block under it. And, like, placed it there upside down, got it to sit nicely, and then deleted the block. Which, you know, fortunately enough, that stays in place. So you got a little storage area where you come in here, grab some ammo, and you'll be thinking it's just like, alright, well, surely this can't be that big of a vault. You know, you got this little area right here. I believe this was meant to be oh yeah, just a bit of an observation area, which I think is cool. Like I think I did a nice job of this. Like this is one of the proudest little builds that I had. Obviously, you got a hidden couple of weapons in here, just because I wanted to give people a reason to like check out these areas rather than just like the cool little things. And were messing about with this when we first did it, where it was like we didn't have a roof on this, so he like jumped in the area and acted like acted like it was a zoo enclosure, which I thought was fun. And again, you got the option to, if you download this map, you can go in Forge and do whatever you like with it. Like, you know, that's kind of how the Halo community is. So that's like completely blocked off, so it's like you don't even notice. You got the dining room area, and all of these chairs are movable, so you can like literally throw a grenade, throw chairs all across the room. Trust me, a lot of people do it. You got bins here, so you can throw stuff away. You got this little thing here. You know, obviously an elite drop pod, but it's like Fallout. I just felt like doing that just to add a bit of mystique to the vault, like what this vault was trying to experiment on and shit. Because, you know, all the vaults have a social experiment. And I decided to make it a bit like a, I decided to make this a bit of like an unfinished vault. So you come in here and there's a rock wall, because like clearly that was still mining out. Kind of like the one you do in Fallout 4 where it wasn't actually made, so you have to make it yourself. You got a couple of weapons in here, and then you come back here, it's the medical station. You got a plasma rifle, and you know, obviously a bunch of medkits in here. And obviously you can see that this is the last room because, well, limited space to build and whatnot. Of course, you can see that I'm still standing in this room. Standing in this very specific corner. Adding very suspicious. That's because, if you take a look in this corner, you can see that there's actually a little gap back here. Which, again, with the lighting and everything being like really relatively dark, especially in the vault, you may not notice it. But you can actually sneak in here to a little hidden area. You got the fuel rod back here, you got a couple of spikers sitting around, you got a plasma launcher, needlers, you know, a bunch of weapons to have fun with. And they're all hidden away in this back room. Originally there was a golf club. But when people started finding this room very easily, I ended up removing the golf club just because it became a thing. Like people would specifically go back there, grab the golf club, and then have like a really overpowered weapon where they would literally just hang around at the vault and not go anywhere else. Unfortunately, you do have to jump to try and get out of the vault, but it does tell you back out, and it does work nicely. So where the actual vault is located, I have walled this off in a very Fallout fashion, where it's just like, it's enough for you to know that something, it's like, you know, you'll be like, kind of stumbling around. There was one guy who managed to find a way to get on top of it, so there is a way to get on top. Honestly, probably at that corner now I'm looking at it. Which will be fixed in an update. When I do another update, I'll just put a couple of rocks across there, block it off entirely, or something. But yeah, it's like it's completely walled off, and it's like, you know, if you go, there's like some areas of Fallout New Vegas, which is what I was thinking about when I was doing this. There's literally areas like this where it's just like, just random rock walls right at the edge. So you seemingly can't go anywhere, or there's like a road that goes to nowhere and stuff like that. So you got a little area that comes up here, random landmine, because again, Fallout 3, very obnoxious thing to do. Just landmines randomly placed throughout the world sometimes. So you got this little spiral staircase. You come up here. You got a little like nature reserve. So you come in here. You have a nice little look around. You got another DMR, so you can even shoot some stuff. Got a little hunting shed down there. So this is a thing that my mate Kyle decided to put in, which I might do a video with him soon. So this is where you will spawn in initially. Like when you first spawn into the game, you may just spawn in facing, like up on here, facing that cave wall. And you'll notice that the respawn thing is actually facing the other way, so it just looks like you've spawned in randomly facing the wrong way in a really random spot. Which there was a couple of those around. Like I know there was one in the ocean that Kyle decided to put down just to be a bit of a dick to somebody. He put that one in. Actually, which one would he put in? There was another random one around somewhere. I forget where he put it. But yeah, there was one of these little spawns that I put around that was actually a bit of a Easter egg. Did I put one up here? Or was it on a different map that I put it in? Yeah, that was a different map. That was one of the DayZ maps that I also lost. So it's like, come over here, you got a fallen down tree. You got a random crashed car, which actually says crash site on it now, thanks to the new landmark, fucking, what are they called? Location name markers. Which that gives you a Spartan laser and a needle rifle, especially if you don't have any guns. One thing I've noticed that people don't particularly like hide things in this little nook. Which typically I end up doing it. I didn't do it on this map. You got a little bridge over here, which literally leads to nothing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, literally it leads to nothing. I haven't put anything there, I haven't hit anything there. It's just a little bridge, just for something nice to add to the atmosphere. So if you come over here, you got this, what I call the construction bridge. Just so when you come up the top of the stairs, you've actually got a way across. That, like, I would say it fits into the landscape pretty well. But strange thing you'll notice, if you come in here, you'll find, well, for one, you'll see this massive tree that's been knocked over, and you'll see a couple little things here. Like you've got this barricade, and you've got a couple alien weapons kind of strewn about. And if you look down in the bottom left, at this point, it'll say crash site as well. And you've got some camping stools here, you've got a turret here, you even got a big plasma storage, and you got a needler, even a Covenant shield. And if you look just over there, you can see I've actually put in a crashed UFO. Again, just to add to the atmosphere. Through. So you got a crashed Falcon there with a couple extra trees, another respawn point. Got a little outpost here. That'll give you another gun. I believe you come over here. I do have a little sniper's nest with a focus rifle. Fun fact: this is typically an area that I'll always put something on a map that I create. I'll either put something here or I'll hide something in that little nook that's down there. So if you see any maps that I've created on the Master Chief Collection, always check in those two little spots, because 90% of the time what the hell? Why am I stuck going this way? Strange. So you got this little area over here. You got that base up there, which there is a way up to without, running up this whole orientation, which I will explain in a minute. So obviously you got the crash UFO out there. There was a little area right there where I put some things where I got rid of that. This was like the first thing that I did. Where it's like, it's a nice little tower. You got a defense turret. So if you're getting chased from somebody and you're running away and they're firing away at you, you come up these stairs, you run up here, and then you can immediately jump on this turret to either shoot at them all the way over there, or if they're chasing you and they're coming up right behind you, you can be gunning them down right in front of you. Like this turret, it's not too accurate at a distance, as you can see, but it's relatively accurate. So you keep going up, keep coming up, and you can either oh yeah, you may spawn into the game like this as well. And again, if you spawn in here, it's a pretty big advantage, because everyone spawns in with a pistol to start the game. So it's based loosely off the DayZ game types that you saw originally. So you got a little area over here. The reason I put blocks in is because without those blocks, you literally sink through the floor. Like, not entirely, you don't fall through and go out the other side, But because this piece is technically upside down, it's technically a tower that's upside down. But again, which you probably wouldn't have noticed until I pointed out. But yeah, you literally sink into the ground slightly. But if you come over here, you'll have this case, and you find a nice rocket launcher to have fun with. You know, firing away at people. And again, if someone's following you up, or you just spawned here and you can hear someone running in, instead of running all the way down to the turret down there, you've also got this one here, behind a little thing. So you can literally just like, you know, if you so choose, you can literally just like grab the rocket launcher and just like camp this area and like wait here. But again, there's a lot of areas to get shot from. This could be somebody over there, could be somebody hiding down there, or you know. Like you haven't got a whole lot of cover, so it's just like, it's not an area that I would recommend purely staying at, because there's so many areas you can get shot from. Then obviously you better come up here, this deposits you nicely at the top. So you got a DMR here, you got an assault rifle, and you got a shotgun as well. All for you to use freely. If you want to get down, well there's no proper way to get down, you can just pop down here, you know. There's no like official staircase or anything, which I didn't really think of that as an issue, because you know it's like gameplay mechanics. It's like it's not too big of an issue. Like you can easily just pop down. And you know if you need an in-lore explanation, it's just like why isn't there a staircase down? It's like maybe there was, maybe it got destroyed. You know, maybe there was a staircase coming off the side here where you can go like down to that walking area, and that's why that stands out. You may notice, again, it's a lot darker in the actual game. Until I release the version that doesn't have the green filters, you're most likely not be able to see this. So you may see this antenna, and if you know Fallout 3, the Enclave is very prominent. They have a lot of outposts and everything, especially if you get further through the story and you find a lot more of their outposts. So you got a little pistol here, you got a little storage. Again, the lighting was busted in MCC for a bit. That made me really pessimistic about releasing this, because the lighting just did not work anymore. Like these lights didn't actually shine on anymore, they would just like literally light up the spot that they're at. And that was it. So I've kind of like, I've like put these walls in to make it look a bit more official. Look, the Enclave actually like tunneled out and they put in those walls as support. Obviously you got another base over here that's been going through a bit of struggles, because like as you can see, the normal architecture like this would have been upright, but obviously you can tell that's deteriorated. So like this base is kind of like sunk into the water a bit, and you can tell it would have been like a big, you know, like area with a bunch of vehicles and stuff like that. And I did make it go down a lot deeper. That's why I put that over there. Just I don't know why this is glitching like that. Like it should have the underwater like that right here. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's definitely a new bug, because when I was first creating this, you had this the entire way. But you know, rather convenient for me to craft a map like this. So I've done a few things like that. Oh, and there's also a leftover rocket launcher. If you feel like grabbing that. I think there was a couple more weapons I was going to put in. But then I just decided, you know what, it'd make more sense if there wasn't, because you know it's meant to be like a shop kind of area, like with a. I was thinking of the that big. I can't think of the name of it. The Air Force base that the boom. Again in Fallout New Vegas. I had Fallout New Vegas on the brain because I hadn't played a lot of Fallout 3. Leading up to the point of doing this, I just remembered. I just got the inspiration to make a Fallout 3 map, just because I was messing around with the filters, saw the green filter, and I was like, dude, I could make a Fallout 3 game and map and everything, which is exactly what I did. So you got like a road that was like clearly an envoy coming through when the bombs fell, clearly heading over that way. So I made a little bit of a road, or what's left of a road. So this is all being ripped up and destroyed. Again, this did go a bit deeper originally, but to save space on the resources, I ended up deleting the rest of the road that was there, because it did actually go down quite a ways, so you couldn't just tell immediately there's just like, there's only one thing of road there. Literally just did that to save on resources, where I got rid of the rest of them. In this little area that you may have noticed, you won't see that in gameplay when you're actually in the game. So this is a bit of environmental storytelling that I decided to do, because obviously you spawn in with a Magnum, so this is all you have, right? And I tried to do a bit of storytelling here, in-map storytelling, where there's a bunch of Magnums that are just strewn about on the beach. And of course, if you're paying attention, you might think, huh, I think a few people have died here recently, and I wonder what's killed them. And so you kind of get curious, you see a couple of guns laying around, it's just like, okay, somebody with like decent weapons died here. And then you come up to this wall, and you're like, why is there just a wall here? That doesn't make any sense. This is all teleporters that are unactivated. And you come through, you get teleported to another side. This is just another way of concealing teleporters, which I wanted to do over in the canyon, but like the canyon one was the one that I did first, and then I did this one. Just because that didn't allow you to come back through it. This did, but this looks less nice. This looks like less concealed, which is fine. Yeah, careful. And I know some people, despite how obvious you think that is, some people have run straight into it, including me. Especially with the darker lighting and setting and everything. So you come up here, you got a nice base that you can properly snipe people from, if you already have a sniper rifle. However, if you don't have a sniper rifle, you can come up this taller ramp that is actually two sniper nests put together, and you'll find an extra sniper rifle already up here for you. Oh, yep, I'll cover the Easter egg now, actually. Because again, with the Enclave and everything, ignoring that, I'll get to that in a moment. Nothing I believe I put on the top. No, I didn't. So this is going to be an Easter egg that not a lot of people notice, because you'll only get the occasional person that'll spawn in on here. There's no respawn points here, there's nothing else here. I just decided to reference a little Enclave outpost. And originally there was a couple of things here. There was a Falcon that actually had weapons on it. But then I decided that was way too overpowered because it's going to be the only one here. Nobody's going to be able to access it other than the person that spawns here right when they join the game. So I decided against it. So now it's just a civilian Falcon, very limited props around. You know, you get the trailer down the bottom there. That's pretty much it. You know, you got a container there, antenna, and a Falcon, and that on the side. That most people won't even notice that. How to go over to the Colosseum is actually rather simple. As you may have noticed, on that side, I've actually walled off that cave entrance, and so you'll be thinking, I wonder why that was the thing. Originally, that little cave there, you could actually go into the other side, and there was going to be another reference to a Chinese spy that had obviously previously passed away. Where there was a way that I did it where it's like there was actually going to be a body in there, or I was going to like mock up what looked like a body in there with another assault rifle and an energy sword. But unfortunately, I ran out of lights and I didn't have any other props that I knew would light up that cave with all the filters and everything. So I ended up having to completely gut that Easter egg. And now it's just a very dark cave when you go in there with all the appropriate filters on and everything. So, you know, maybe I might actually add that Easter egg back, or add something back when I release a version of this map without the green filter. So obviously I've like modified this cave entrance, but it still looks like it's been like professionally dug out of it because I didn't cover all of it with rock. So you come down here in the atrium. You got these rocks covering up the pillars. You got this teleporter that's into the ground, which doesn't look like it's, you know, actually there, but obviously you can see it from the light. So you come in here, you know, the Colosseum, walking along here. I think I originally had a light that was lighting up this hallway, but then I started to get really light on resources, and I needed the light for another area, so I decided to spare it out. So again, another defense turret, so you can stop anyone that was knowingly following you. You come in here. You've got a bunch of options for weapons, including a grenade launcher. That I believe this is the only spot you can find the grenade launcher on this map, I believe. So if you haven't worked it out yet, this is a Brotherhood of Steel bunker, or at least as close to a Brotherhood of Steel bunker that I can come up with. So obviously, this is where all the vehicles are. This is the only spot on the map that vehicles are, other than that Falcon that's in the Easter egg. So if you want to take one of these vehicles out, you can. You can perfectly drive around in it. You can do whatever you like. You know, I typically tested out the Scorpion tank when I was first doing it. You just teleport out. Originally, like that would wig out a bit, so I ended up having to change it. But yeah, that if you want some overpowered weapons, that's going to make you a massive target to everyone else in the lobby. That's where you can get it from, in the Brotherhood of Steel bunker. If you come down, oh yeah, I didn't do anything in this cave. That was on the DayZ map that I lost. So originally, again, there was originally another Easter egg that I also deleted, just to save on resources. So instead, there's a clump of trees and a Spartan laser. So originally, what you used to be able to do is if you climbed to the top of this mountain and looked directly up, there was a collection of fusion coils that were in the air that were completely out of draw distance until you climbed the mountain and zoomed in with your pistol or another weapon that zooms in. And then you would finally see the fusion coils that were just above you, and if you shot them, every single armor ability available in the game would fall out of the sky and become available to you, and only through that little Easter egg. But unfortunately, that was taking up a lot of resources. Like I was very limited on the amount of props that I could use, and everything, so I completely had to scrap that Easter egg in its entirety, unfortunately. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the Fallout 3 map. You know, like, I've had some people come on here, they've had a bit of fun with it, you know, screwing around. I've had a couple of complaints, had a couple compliments about it. People thought it was cool, some other people thought it was shit. To be fair, the people that thought it was shit were the people that continually died to other people with sniper rifles, and I'm just like, there's many areas to get around that problem. Because, like, I deliberately tried to make it so if you have a sniper rifle, you got to go to very specific spots to actually make it a viable weapon. Like, you got to come up here, and if you come up here, obviously everyone knows you're a dickhead, and, you know, hopefully they'll respawn somewhere else, because there's plenty of areas that you can spawn into. And, you won't really have cover from people sneaking up on you. Like, a lot of the time, you'll have a point like this, right, where, like, someone will be up over here, like, sniping, and this isn't even the best spot, because again, everyone's got a Magnum, they can zoom in and start taking shots at you, and because it's based off of the DayZ game type, which gives you no shields, and, you know, very easy depleted health, you will get shot pretty quickly, and unless you can work out where people are shooting you from and take them out before they take you out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I may add in a few more things here and there, just to add to the environment a bit more, because I know it's very basic. Along with this, I do have a couple of little projects that I have in the works. Like I've got an idea for a PT kind of deal, whereas like you'll be going through seemingly the same hallway repeatedly, or the same room repeatedly, not realizing when things are changing until, you know, later on where things will start ramping up. I do have a perfect idea of how I can pull that off and everything, so I'll keep working on this. You know, just a little short video for today, so I was like, I'm going to be adding stuff to this if I can, coming out with a few different projects that I'll be showing off soon, And last episode of A Wolf Among Us is getting recorded tonight. So if you'd like to see that live, I'll be streaming it at around 6 p.m. tonight. As I live in Australia, it'll be 6 p.m. tonight, so that's 2 hours from now, as of recording this. So thank you all for coming out, thank you all for watching this video, and have a good rest of your day, everybody.